Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more fighting. UFC 210. Just watched the main event and I want to give my post-fight thoughts. That was Daniel Cormier. Had a little bit of issue yesterday with making weight and then mysteriously lost weight within 2 minutes for Tailgate. He defended his light heavyweight strap against Anthony Rumble Johnson. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Now, shout out to Daniel Cormier. At 38 years old, he proves that he is the champion and he won this fight he forced Rumble to tap in the second round. So that was impressive to see him pretty much dismantle a guy like Rumble Johnson, who we know is strong. And normally on my post-fight breakdowns, I give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. For starters, the bad to me is UFC 209 and UFC 210, for me, didn't really deliver as pay-per-view events. Even the main event, it was kind of lackluster energy, and you could easily see where the fight was headed. And just even the preliminaries and stuff, they weren't all that to me. So as far as my personal opinion, boxing as a totality in 2017 is killing UFC. So they need Conor back in a hurry, but that may not happen because he may come to boxing to fight Floyd Mayweather. But I wasn't really impressed with the UFC 210 card, to be honest. But talking about the main event, the bad is I thought Rumble Johnson, using what he does well and his strengths, had absolutely the most preposterous, horrible, horrendous game plan going up a second time versus Daniel Cormier. We know if you watch enough MMA or fighting sports or whatever and you study your opponent, you know what they're good at, you know what they're bad at. And let's start with round one. So round one, Rumble Johnson spent all this energy trying to take down a wrestler, and he had his back against the cage, and to me that was just burning unnecessary energy versus a wrestler. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me that doesn't make sense. That's like Conor McGregor, who's a way better striker and big at featherweight when he was fighting at featherweight, and him trying to wrestle or grapple and take down Chad Mendes. Doesn't really make sense. Why would you do that? That's what he does well. That's his strong suit, not really yours. You may have some training in it, but you're not as versed at that as him. You know what I mean? Or trying to take down Nate Diaz, who's taller than you, who's tough, lanky, who's way better with jiu-jitsu. So to me, it was actually perplexing that in a mulligan, a do-over, a second chance, a rematch, an opportunity, Rumble Johnson would completely take away his strengths and what he does well and opt to fight that type of fight where you're trying to grapple with the wrestler. Now, if you looked at Rumble, one of his last fights or his last fight against Glover Teixeira, he stretched him. First round, he has cracks. The dude, when I think of Rumble, certain people in the UFC, they just have undeniable power. You know what I mean? Rumble, Tyron Woodley. It's just when they hit you, most guys act weird after. You know what I mean? If not, they're knocked out or whatever the situation is. And Rumble is one of those knockout artists. With those size gloves and stuff, he hits you, you detonate. Period. You know what I'm saying? So to opt to try to have your back against the cage and take him down and burn unnecessary energy against Cormier. And I told you guys this before the fight. Aside from the wrestling, Cormier he clearly struggled to make the light heavyweight mark because he was 2 pounds over or whatever the situation was. He's kind of top heavy and bottom heavy. So he might even, when he rehydrated, your body's going to naturally do what it does. So he might have definitely rehydrated more than a guy like Rumble Johnson. So that's another reason why I didn't think the takedown really made any sense for Johnson to try to have that style of fight with Cormier. And that was round one. There was a sequence where Johnson did something good. He landed a nice kick and I think a punch right after that, and it kind of like staggered Cormier back. But credit to Cormier, he's just overall a strong guy. And it looks like he has a chin because he took it and recovered. And there was a takedown in round 1, but it was after the bell, so it doesn't really count. So that was clearly a Cormier round. In round 2, Johnson again goes to tried to take down Cormier for whatever reason. And now I'm hearing he just retired. Wow. Now Anthony Rumble Johnson just retired. I guess out of embarrassment or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just what Miesha Tate did too after her last loss. She's like, man, enough is enough, I guess. So I guess breaking news, Johnson retired. Back to round 2. In round 2, again insistent on a takedown, and you try to take him down and you succeed, and then I think he gets back up, and then Cormier takes you down. You give up your back, and he's hitting you and bludgeoning you with punches, and your energy, it looked like Johnson's energy was just zapped because he's just getting hit with flush shots, trying to cover up. He's Cormier's in complete control, and he's like wrapped around him, and he's just striking, bow, 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 and then Cormier goes for the choke, and then Johnson immediately taps pretty quick, and that was it. Johnson wins, or excuse me, Cormier wins in the second round. So overall, awful game plan, and it wasn't an exciting card to me. I didn't really care for this particular one. I think the UFC, they gotta get back to like the Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz. That was a fun fight. Even the fight with Holly Holm and Durandamy or whatever, that was a good fight. I think that was on the same card or whatever. They need to get back to some more of those style fights. But I wasn't really impressed with the card, and I definitely wasn't impressed with Rumble Johnson's his approach. And it was like he learned nothing from the first fight, which made it more embarrassing because he really gave up all of his strengths and came out with a crazy game plan. That's almost identical to what he did in the first fight. Like, he had a little bit of success. Cormier showed a beard, caught and ate some shots, and then he allowed Cormier to have him on the mat for way too long, and it zapped his energy. I don't know what his overall conditioning is like, but he seemed pretty zapped and spent so much of the time on the mat, he didn't have no energy. And then the next round, I think it was, he ends up losing. You know what I'm saying? You can't let somebody. Cormier might not be as strong with single shot strikes and stuff, but he's still a strong guy. Like, you can't just muscle him around and throw him. You're not gonna ragdoll a wrestler like that, especially him. He's been doing this too long. He probably rehydrated more than you. So just god awful game planning by Team Johnson, Team Rumble, whatever they want to be called. And shout out to Cormier. He did. Some people thought he was going to get knocked out. Some people said, oh, if he's missing weight, it's going to be bad for him. But I mean, he showed up. He has a title defense, and he proved the first fight wasn't a fluke. So just bad game planning to me from Johnson. I can't stress that enough. For me, I hope Jon Jones gets his shit together, man, because that was a rematch that was supposed to happen, and I guarantee you that would be a better fight, just because Jon Jones, arguably the most skilled, the best fighter in the UFC history. So, you know what I mean? If he gets his shit together, that's the compelling fight. Jon Jones was in the crowd, and I mean, when it comes to game planning, I really don't see him giving up his advantages like the way Rumble did. It baffles me and boggles my mind that they would come out like that in a rematch. It would be one thing if it was the first time you never fought Cormier, you didn't know what to expect, boom. But this was almost very similar, eerily similar to the first fight. UFC 210 main event. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the Chris Weidman, the TKO in that fight. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.